We had a lovely Mother's Day celebrating all the mothers that we had at our family gathering.
Good.
Katie, of course, is a mom. On our way to fly to this location to get with family, I was like, Katie, I'll be right back. I'm going to run to the bathroom. And I went to the bathroom, and then I popped in this little shop at the airport. She walks me, like, she sees me come back with a bag. And I'm like, can you put that in our backpack and don't look inside it?
And I immediately was like, did he just buy my Mother's Day gift at the airport?
I was like, I guess you'll see Sunday.
On the way to our trip. And it's not like the Kansas City has like the luxury stores, right? It's not like we're in an airport that has like, I know that they have good luxury goods. And I would be like, maybe he got me Gucci.
We have a
maybe he
pig
got
witch.
me diamonds.
Yeah.
Pork gift card.
So my brain is just kind of racking. I'm like, what did he buy at the Kansas City airport? I mean, it's newly redone, but there are
Let me tell you, I really rolled the dice on finding a card at the airport, and Kansas City came through. Wasn't a Mother's Day card. It said,
congrats on the rack of ribs. It was all barbecue based.
yeah, vegans, we hate them. Yeah. They just wrote Mother's Day on it. But it was a nice chocolates and a card.
Yes.
And I had bought a gift prior. So I just needed the little finishing touches.
I bought her a gift prior from a train station. That's where I got the first gift from.
So happy Mother's Day to all the moms listening. We have a great episode for you today, talking all about all sorts of stuff. And the big part of the episode, interview with Joe Santagato. It was great.
Very excited.
We saw him in New York. We had a great time. Shout out to him. So enjoy. And sit back, relax. Let's roll the music. Correct opinions. Correct opinions. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Oh, I need to get something off my chest. Guess what it is?
What is it?
It's an anvil. You're in a Looney Tunes cartoon.
No.
Dang it.
Stressed.
Oh.
You guys ever bottle it up? Mm-hmm. Bottle up your stress.
Got your own distillery. Just bottling it up.
And then then what happens when you don't?
And then you get drunk on anxiety.
Too much gas.
Wow.
Therapy
Wow.
could be an answer to all of this. I've definitely bottled stuff up and you explode. You got to get this off your chest, and therapy is a great place to do that. If you're thinking of trying therapy, give BetterHelp a try. I've done therapy. I loved it. I recommend it. And BetterHelp is entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire. You get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists anytime for no additional charge.
That's right. One of my friends did therapy. One of my friends did BetterHelp and had nothing but good things to say about it. So if you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. Get it off your chest with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/correct today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/correct.
There's two tall boys in this studio, and Jake.
What?
I'm holding one.
Liquid death cans. Got it.
Liquid
not
death served in
me.
the tall boys. Not you either.
Okay, just clarifying.
Perhaps you've noticed these things walking around town. Liquid death. What are these people drinking? It's water.
Yeah.
And it's fresh, delicious water. And why is it called liquid death? That's silly, right? Because liquid death will brutally murder your thirst.
There's one reason.
Infinitely recyclable cans are helping bring death to single-use plastic
There's two
bottles.
reasons.
That's right. Crack open a can. Enjoy. I love it. Not just water, too. They have sparkling waters, iced teas. They're delicious. So tell them how they can find it, short boy.
Thank you, medium boy. You can get free shipping of Liquid Death's Mountain Water, flavored sparkling, and iced tea 8-packs with Amazon Prime, or grab a can or a case at your local 7-Eleven, Target, Walmart, Whole Foods, or on Instacart. Go to liquiddeath.com/Trey to check out all their healthy, infinitely recyclable beverages and find your closest retailer. He crushed it. That's liquiddeath.com/Trey, liquiddeath.com/Trey.
Hot.
I love when you do that.
Travel essentials, 3 of them. Go.
Oh, my wife, my pillow.
And,
My blankie.
well, you can't. I hope all those seem tough to fit in luggage, I'm going to be honest. And Cozy Earth just changed that. They have travel-friendly bedding. Cozy Earth, proud sponsor of the show. We sleep on the sheets. He's wearing the loungewear. Very comfortable. And it's time to elevate your summer getaway with Cozy Earth's luxurious bedding and loungewear, ensuring the comfort of home wherever you roam. They come in these adorable totes, making it travel-friendly and hassle-free. It's all looks good. It's soft. It's amazing. So, want to rest easy on vacay? This is kind of changing the game. I'm going to start bringing my Cozy Earth sheets.
All right.
So I know I'm going to be comfortable. Take a trip to cozyearth.com/correct. Type in our code correct at checkout to get an exclusive 35% off. That's promo code correct for 35% off. It's our way of saying thank you for listening. Do us a favor, select podcast in the survey after ordering and hit our show to support it. Once again, correct, 35% off at cozyearth.com/correct. Thanks and happy sleeping. The New York trip was 10 out of 10. We had a great time meeting and talking with Joe. It was great. Katie was even there. You know, sometimes we travel, we're on the road. Katie's not there, so it was good to be able to all be there. The whole Correct Opinions crew, except Family Man.
No Derek.
Derek wasn't. Producer Derek wasn't there.
We had kind of like a stand-in for him, though, didn't we?
Yeah. They were similar
Yeah,
builds.
there was a producer there. Yeah, they were lanky both. Well, we can't describe Derek too much. No one's ever seen him. But Derek, he refuses to go to blue states. So fortunately, he was remote. We had a great time talking to Joe. You guys are going to love this episode. Disclaimer for our audience. We know a lot of y'all maybe like to listen with the kiddos around, this or that. Joe's pretty clean, hilarious guy. But it's a PG-13. Just let you know. Do with that what you will. And Katie, she had been in New York for a few days, and she threw out a couple crazy.
I didn't even know one of the words.
Yeah.
We had to look it up in real time.
Yeah, it's because I made it up.
Yeah, so she went off the rails a little bit. But no, we had a great time. You guys are going to love this interview. Let us know what you think. So Joe Santagato, he does the Basement Yard podcast. This is how you probably know him. Him and his co-host, Frankie.
Either works.
They're two best buds, New York. They kind of like our podcast. They just shoot the bull, and they're hilarious, and they're killing it. One of the biggest comedy podcasts out there. And so we're honored to have my agent. We have the same agency. So my agent was like, "Hey, do you want Joe Santagato on the podcast?" I'm like, "Yeah." It's like going up to someone who's like an aspiring NBA player. Like, "Hey, I need someone to train me." And they're like, Would you be down with like LeBron to do it? Like, yeah, I guess. Just let me know.
Yeah. When LeBron's done with his podcast, he can hop on mine.
And so we got him, man. It was very nice of him to come on. Super cool, nice guy, and hilarious. So enjoy this episode with Joe Santagato of the Basement Yard podcast. Derek, let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Santagato.
Woo! We got him.
We got him. So glad you're here, man. In New York, in this Brooklyn podcast studio. No disrespect to our producer. I was in a garage, and then
I honestly, we showed up at the same time, which is very important because I would have been like,
you would have left.
Where am I going? You know, we were walking up to this like, it was literally just a small black door, and then when you open it, it's like in a garage, and I was like, well,
yeah,
I've seen too many.
Just trust me. Come
documentaries.
Past the row of cars.
I feel like Jake knew to wait for me. I was like, I'm on my way.
That was sweet. I
felt
late.
so scared for Katie. I was like, I'm going to wait for somebody else's wife. That's how serious this is. I got to walk her into this place.
You don't even like Katie that much.
No, I try to not spend time with her.
Dude, what's up with New York? Immediately I get bagels when I come to New York. Because we're from Kansas City. They just don't even do bagels. I don't understand why they don't. But has there ever been a reasonable amount of cream cheese on a bagel? Does anyone?
Dude, you know what it is? Some places, I'm starting to think that it's like purposeful. It's like we're either not going to put any on here, or we're going to put 10 pounds of cream cheese on there.
It's gross.
And you can't even close it, and then you open it, and it's just covered. And I'm like, what is this?
Yeah,
it's
just popping out of the.
It kind of makes
all
me
the
nauseous
holes
thinking about it right now.
I hate that.
Yeah,
I hate when it's coming out of the side.
Coming out of the Bugatti.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so I hate that.
It's too much.
This
and
is
you're just
now just
pouring
like,
it off. And then I try to get fancy, like one without, one with, and then that's when they hit you with too little.
Yeah,
because I'm gonna put the extra. Yeah,
it's craziness. You got to get it on the side, but then they're like, "Oh, the sides are this big," and I'm like, "Well, I don't need cream cheese for the next year. I just need it like for this." That's it.
And I was getting so nervous to go in there and order because you just feel like I have to be ready because they just shout like next and they're not ready.
This place we went, I mean,
they were really nice.
They were. We must have looked like we didn't know, which I always hate that. I don't want to look like I don't know, right? Like
looking around.
But he was like, "Let me walk you through how we do this," and I was like, "Okay, this is nice."
It's like I remember my first time ordering a cheesesteak in Philadelphia, and I was very intimidated. Kind of the same vibes. And I go up to the counter. And I don't know how it works. For some reason, I was like, "Hey, us two are going to be together." And he's like, "Congratulations! What do you want?" It's the most Philly thing.
All right, let's go ahead and order, gay boy. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know.
Like, no one cares who you have sex with, buddy. What the hell do you want?
Yeah.
Like, hurry up.
Dude, it's Philly. We've had a bad experience in Philly recently. What's your Philly versus New York
Well,
vibe?
I mean, I'm a New York sports fan, so I hate Philly.
Yeah.
I've been to Philly twice. Both times, almost fainted.
From the crime?
Just no, not from the crime, from the drinking. I guess was one of them. Was one of the excuses. But yeah, I mean, I haven't spent too much time in Philly, to be honest with you. I do think the cheesesteak is like good, but it's not like
it really isn't.
Let's go crazy here.
It's really not that good. I
Yeah.
had a buddy who worked in Philly for a long time, and he's like, I tell you what, Jersey Mike's, they do it just as good. I'm like, and and then you go and you're like, I don't know if it's Philly's a letdown or if Jersey Mike's has just really got it dialed in.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've only had Jersey Mike's like twice in my entire life. There's not many like around here. They're
That
usually
makes
either out in
sense.
Long Island or like in Jersey
Kind of
somewhere.
what they do to us in the Midwest. They're just like, Jersey Mike's, New York pizza. They just
right.
And we're like, oh,
Yeah.
where am I?
You know what it is too? It's a shame because whenever something gets any sort of hype, I'm just going in being like, this is gonna suck. So like, of course, I'm not gonna feel that way. I felt the same way going to New Haven. Like it's supposed to be like the pizza capital of the country,
Sure.
and I went and I'm like,
Yeah. Did
I've had 1,000
Did you get
pizzas
the
better
clam
than this.
pizza?
I didn't. I know that was supposed to do it, but I was like,
It's gross.
we were like being fair about it. So we got regular slices, like
Mhm.
regular plain slices from each of like the 3, pizzerias up there that you're supposed to be at. And I
Yeah.
was like, this is super okay. Like some of them
Yeah.
are like good, but it's not like, oh,
I know,
Yeah.
it does feel like
regular pizza.
it's just the cities like with a bunch of danger, and they're like, we just gotta hype up this food so people come, like
Need
risking your
something.
life.
But also,
for a
like,
clam
how
pizza.
good can it be? Like, it's pizza. Like, how much better?
Yeah.
I don't.
There-
yeah,
There's
especially
an element of that.
a drop of alcohol and every pizza tastes like the best thing I've ever had in my
Yeah.
life. So like, it doesn't really matter that
I mean,
much.
I've had a handful of pizza rolls where I'm like, this is the best culinary experience of my life.
I know it's not good, but that was a good batch that I had last night. Like, that was
Someone
the
at the
best batch.
factory, they cared.
Yeah,
on
that day.
batch.
Something
Take
special
care.
in there, yeah. I don't know how much time you
100%.
spent in New Haven. We went there one time for a show. Didn't know anything about it. We're Midwest guys. And because that's where Yale is at.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yale.
We're like, wow, how cool.
Esteemed.
Yeah. And then we're like starting to see a lot of bars on windows. And people were like, welcome to Guns Wave in New Haven.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
like, what's that for? What do you mean?
Which venue were you guys doing?
Finny Brand's Comedy Club in New Haven, right?
Oh, so it's like right around that same area.
Right.
It was funny because we just did a show there in January or February, whatever the hell it was. But
in New Haven?
in New Haven,
Okay.
yeah. And we were like, that's the second show we've ever done ever.
Okay.
So we're like walking up to the marquee, like having this moment of like, it says like the basement yard sold out, whatever. So we're like
yeah.
walking up and then we see it and we're like, whoa. And then immediately there's a woman taking a shit right here. Like on the corner of the street. And I was just like, oh
Yeah,
my
that
God.
leaf,
Like perfect. And we were like, okay. Welcome.
Yeah,
Like, you know?
welcome.
And
Showbiz.
my Frank went to the University of New Haven, so he knew that like this is where all the bars used to hang out and stuff. I went and visited him like once while he was up there, and like so I've been to a couple of those places, but I never got that sort of experience at all because it was just we were like younger, so it was more like the college crowd, so you're like kind of tucked away somewhere. But that was so funny. Like, oh my God, this is such a cool moment, and then literally a woman.
Nothing can ruin
I was
this.
like, yeah, nothing except human shit.
Yeah.
we were
That's
there
all.
one day and saw a guy.
Crime in real time.
Yeah, we saw Grand Theft Auto happen in front of us. It was awesome.
Like we swear, a girl popped out to like hop and get a Chipotle, and this guy kind of just booked it out of the car.
Stole a car?
We're like, I think,
Yeah.
did he just steal it?
Yeah.
Did you guys stick around for the police report or?
No, it was horrified. There was like a homeless guy like barking at me. I mean, I was not prepared for it at all. I thought it was going to be Ivy League. But okay, well, for those listening who maybe don't know Joe somehow, you were talking about Frank, Basement Yard, your
Yeah.
podcast, The Basement Yard, blown up specifically on TikTok, and just everywhere. Sold out the Basement Yard tour,
Yeah.
live podcast tour. Sold it out in seconds. So congrats. And
Thank you.
more than that, I've followed you. You know, you've been on the internet for like a decade. I feel kind of kindred spirits because you've just
Yeah.
been on every platform.
Yeah.
the
just
longest time.
trying to keep that like, don't forget.
Yeah, for sure.
Still here,
I
dude.
think they're forgetting.
Yeah.
I need something.
Yeah. Since like 2011 is when I started doing like YouTube videos. And then I was like addicted to, like, crazy, but like, I was like, okay, I need to be on every single platform. So I was like very much like on Vine back then, and
Musically.
Yeah, no, actually, I missed that.
Good
when
for
was
you.
that?
Yeah,
That was
was
what
a short
TikTok
stint.
came from.
Yeah.
TikTok bought.
Oh, so it was like
Musical.ly.
right before that.
Yeah.
Musically,
Yeah.
remember the like
Yeah,
all
I've
that
seen
stuff?
those videos, but
Liza
I
Koshy just
honestly
popping.
never saw that being a thing. Was that overlapping with anything else? Like,
It was. It had its moment. It was big. Man, TikTok probably bought Musically in like 2018.
I was gonna say kind of in the
Yeah.
Snapchat
I think
era.
Musically like 2016, 17 was getting going, and I learned my lesson with Vine. So I was like, I'm gonna be on every platform.
Yeah.
Vine went away, so I luckily got going a little. But you had a real Facebook moment too.
Yeah. That's
There was the heyday of Facebook. there
yeah,
for a
that
while.
was. I mean, I started doing that because I worked for a company out here called Illegality, and they were huge on Facebook, and they had like half of the millennial audience looking at their website the entire time. And one of the things like during that time they were like that I noticed, or that they were like kind of strategizing about, is when you upload organic videos to Facebook, they kind of get pushed up because Facebook wanted to make a push to
For
like
sure.
compete with YouTube, I guess, in that time. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna start doing that. And I would drop videos every Tuesday on YouTube. So I would just post the link, and then the next day I would put like the same video, except it said youtube.com/Joe Santagato, and I would put that on Facebook. And one of them went, not one of them, like they all were like doing really well, but there was one specifically, this like series that I did called Idiots in the Internet, and it went insanely viral. And then after that, it was like growth like crazy.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure you invented the game with the dentist.
Yeah.
That's like
speak
you
out.
invented that.
Yeah.
So that was like
Accidentally too.
We've
like-
played
yeah, I
that.
know.
We've played that
so
at a family
this
gathering.
is a cute like early boyfriend girlfriend. We had the time of our lives drinking margaritas, like just doing that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
It
all
was
our
like-
teeth look fine, and
I
good.
it was I saw I think it was James Corden had like Melissa McCarthy on his show, and they had it, but they were like trying to drink water with it and like trying to blow bubbles.
Is this big Melissa or little?
This is who's little Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah.
She lost some weight.
Oh, I see,
no,
I
this
see.
was big Melissa McCarthy. Then. This is some time ago.
Okay.
This is 2015, I think.
Okay. Paint a
But
picture.
but I saw that and I was like, oh, this would be a good idea for a video. So I went on Amazon and I bought like this and like you can't just buy those. And they were just a box of all this dentist.
You bought an
Like-
entire
Oh.
dental clinic. Like I had to buy the whole business.
It was like, oh, you can get a 45-piece set, and there was only 4 of those in there, and I was like, all right, I just like bought it, and then I threw the rest of it out because I was like, what am I gonna do with this?
Mhm.
And you know, I was playing it with my siblings, and I had this whole video planned out about all these other like these little challenges that we were gonna do, and there was gonna be like 2-on-2, like me and my brother Keith versus my sister and my other brother. But as we were doing it, we were kind of looking around like, this sucks. Like, this is just not like
This is a
playing
low
well.
moment. Yeah.
And my sister is a speech pathologist, or was at the time, and she was like, "Why don't we just write like things down?" Because there was a part where I like had written that into the video of being like, we're gonna do like words go back and forth, and like that part we thought was cool. So we're like, why don't we just do that? And then my sister's like, make sure you do like M's and B's because you can't say those without
Yeah.
closing your mouth or whatever. So that's how we like did the video, and this was like the first week basically that I was signed to WME.
Oh wow, they're like,
So
this
I-
guy's delivering.
well, I literally like, and I don't know anything. I'm like, I'm having an agent. I'm like, I'm a star, dude.
Yeah.
Like, so when this happened, there was
like
one
WME.
comment.
That'd be perfect for the game. That I'm signed with WME.
Yeah.
with it on.
And I saw one comment that said, "Is this like a real game?" And I was like, I have to make this a real game. So I was like calling my agent.
Hasbro.
Dude, I was calling my agent at 3 a.m. He's probably like, dude,
3 a.m.
I'm like, I got signed 2 days ago. He's like, relax.
He's
YouTuber.
like, oh, this guy's gonna
Like,
do
pick up the phone at 3
You
a.m.
know who
for
I
you.
am?
Yeah.
Look at these views.
So like, but it was going like very viral. And then I told him, I was like, I want to make this into an actual game. How do we do it? And then we were talking to a couple of independent, people. But then he was like, oh, we have a contact at Hasbro. And then that's kind of how that ended up happening. But
Wow.
Then we played it.
yeah.
That's pretty fun. I've been following you for a while. You've been quite the business boy. I feel like the last several years. I feel like once a year something new pops up, and there was like you were cell coverage for a little bit.
Oh yeah, Wing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a telecom company. The CEO of Elite Daily, after he sold that company, he started that one. So he brought me and a couple of other people on board to start doing that.
Yeah, that was a fun little thing.
But yeah, I mean, that company is like still going, and like, I mean, it's pivoting at this point, and I'm more of like super in the background when it comes to that. Yeah, no, I mean, I have definitely went out of my way to make sure that I am not only just doing content and trying to be like an entertainer, but also treating it as like a business, because the idea that I think the mistake that a lot of people make is like, oh, this is just going to last forever, or like, you know, something like that, or I'm very popping over here, so I'm just going to double down on that and like forget about all this opportunity, just going to do that. And that's how people kind of fade away. So that's why I'm like, I have to do all this and make sure it's sort of fail proof. And even today, like, I'm in a good position, but I still feel pressure to be like, you have to adapt.
Dude, would you say you're sick in the head a little bit?
100%.
Yeah, that's the key.
I can't, like, my mom used to always say this too, and even when I was younger, she'd be like, why are you not excited? And I'm like, I'm excited, I'm happy, but like, there's more that I have to do.
Oh yeah, I go to Katie like
Yeah.
every 3 months. I was like,
Every
sell the
3
house.
months. Every
It's
3
all
months.
crumbling down.
Yeah, every 3 months
Yeah.
we're gonna be poor and everything's ruined.
But that's what
and,
you need.
Yeah.
You need to not believe in yourself at all. And
That's
it
what
just
propels you
pushes-
forward.
Yeah,
yeah,
good.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It's like that, and also like there is this feeling of like, I could definitely screw this up, or not screw it up, but if I get lazy, it could go away, and I don't want it to go away. But there is also this other like arrogant of like, I'll do whatever the hell I want.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's like it's
Cancel the shows.
Yeah.
Like, it's like whatever. I don't whatever.
Oh,
But
definitely. It's a brutal
so you have to
balance.
battle that back and forth all the time.
Yeah, you're doing the tour life now, so that's a whole nother. Because Frank, you say he's a dad.
Yeah.
I'm a dad. So then our tour schedule, we're like, all right, I'm going to be gone this time, not this. We'll bring the kid, we won't. But okay, let's not do as much. But now, what if they all disappear?
Yeah.
I got to do it. It's relentless, but
Yeah,
that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, exactly. I
That's
mean, it's
what-
definitely like a position I would love to be in, and as hard as it is sometimes to juggle all of it, like now I just like love it. Like I'm used to it. It's kind of like a baseline of like there's 10 different things that I'm thinking about, and then you turn a camera on, you're like, all right, now I got to do this.
Yeah,
Like, but I like it. It's fun.
Yeah, man, you're
I
killing
tell
it.
people, because we each have a few different like ventures going on. People are like, how do you do all that? But I feel like they didn't get added all at the same time. You're probably the same way.
Yeah.
It's like I did entertainment, figured that out. Then I did this business, and then now you're
Yeah.
singing hot sauce. They come one at a time.
Yeah,
It makes it easier.
Also, I will say, like, it's way more. It sounds like a lot more when you're saying it, but like, I'm not making the hot sauce. You know what I mean?
What?
Like, I'm
Really?
not
I thought you
were-
stirring
I
the
thought-
thing up, and
I
I'm
thought
not
you were
like.
throwing stuff in
Come
there.
on.
You didn't print all the cards for the game.
Yeah.
You're not a dentist?
Yeah.
What? You're not a dentist. But yeah, so like that's why it is a lot, and there's some days it builds up and you have to do everything on the same day, but for the most part, it's not every single day. So like with the hot sauce specifically, we have a partner that handles operations, logistics, and whatever we do. We're part of the creative process of like what sauce we want to make. We do all of like the labels and the marketing. We create the content for the marketing as well, and then they're just like facilitating like all of that. As
So you've
well.
never even tasted it.
No, yeah, no, we definitely have tasted
Oh,
it.
okay.
Definitely have
even know.
tasted it.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so
Well,
it's
cool,
fun.
man. Well, thanks for being on.
yeah,
Legend. Dude, I was walking around New York today, and just this happens everywhere though. These guys, the Bluetooth speakers.
bro.
Central Park, beautiful. Here with my family. My son's frolicking,
Truly.
Nothing can ruin
frolicking,
this.
Yeah.
and just sketchy guy running around just full blaring.
I mean, but Thomas liked it though.
he was
like-
Wait,
kinda-
playing
You were-
music or on the phone?
Playing music.
either,
yeah,
but
either.
The phone
music,
drives me insane.
the phone.
At a park is like
FaceTime.
fine. Like if you're outside but if you're talking extremely loudly, it's like, bro, we get it, bro. We don't
Bro.
all need to know about Q3. Like take it easy.
Take it easy.
But people who talk like that and like you're in a closed space, you're at a
Yeah.
coffee shop or you're like on the train, it's like, shut up. Like, how do you not have shame?
Oh, it's
And how do you have service on the
They
train?
just-
Who are you
That
talking
too.
to?
Like, what is
this a
this?
voice memo?
It's crazy. Like right now, I'm on a podcast. I'm like, am I being too loud? Am I-
Yeah, that's
you know.
what I mean.
And we were at a grocery store grabbing something yesterday. There was a guy. It's like, I think the Knicks gonna get him again, man.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy's hollering.
Yeah.
He can. That's got to be hurting his ears on the other end.
Yeah,
I just can't believe it.
It's nuts. And Frankie always makes fun of me too because when we're at restaurants, I'm some of the people that I know are so loud, and Frank is one of them. Of just being in a restaurant and I'm like, we're inside.
Yeah,
There's people right there. Chill. Stop. And he's like, oh, Dad's speaking. Sorry. We can't hang out.
God forbid I have one night out. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they are right. And if you don't think they're listening, they are.
I am always listening.
Women like
Yeah.
her
Always.
Oh my
listen to
God.
every word of everyone around them, not even me anymore.
Yeah, I've noticed that as well.
It's fascinating.
Just you're on a date and there's
Can you believe this?
Multitasking.
Yeah.
You can do both.
I like to do that, but I'm still locked in here. I'm not I'm not moving my face. I'm clearly not listening, but I'm like I am across the room right now.
Nice
People are
enough to
fighting.
pretend.
Yeah. You kind of like it now, though. Like last night at dinner.
Well,
after-
we're running out of stuff to talk about.
Yeah. After
know, I
this
was like,
table
nah.
left next to us, he was like, "So what was going on over there?"
It was a
And I was
perfect New
like,
York experience
well.
because it was like 4 finance pros next to us, and I couldn't wait to ask her what they're saying because I knew she would try to tell me. She's like, I don't really know. They're like dividends. And
They were just like, wine and Q3, truly.
Yeah.
It was like, I was like, okay, this is kind of boring.
Yeah. Sometimes because I have some friends that are in finance, so sometimes we'll be at dinner and they'll start going off, and I'm like, great, now I'm looped into this. Like someone's gonna hear this, and then
You're back
they're
in
gonna
it.
be
I
like,
don't.
yeah, it's like I don't
I don't
also
talk.
think they're
I don't even,
douches.
yeah,
You know?
I don't even have a job. Yeah.
I don't even have a W-2. I'm just whatever
Yeah, I'm just out here.
You're born and raised in New York, yeah? Always been here?
in Queens.
So this is one of my first times in New York, and so I have some questions about this whole area.
Okay,
So you born in Queens, where you live now?
I live in Brooklyn.
Okay. So one, is there not a better system for trash? I've been in Midtown Manhattan for the last 4 days.
Yeah.
Is the best we can do throw it on the street?
Yes, I think it is. That's the best that we could possibly do. You know what the problem is? There's just too many people, I think. And
Dude, where do they all
excuses
work?
as well. Like that one could definitely figure that out and make it more clean because they
Too
do it in
many.
other cities. But I'm just going to say there's too many people. And that's just what we do. Also, I don't know if you've ever seen the street cleaners drive by. What is that doing?
Just the little Brussels?
mixing it up. Yeah, they're just
Yeah, it
mixing.
doesn't like suck it up, right?
Yeah, it's like, it's all the garbage on the ground. Now it's in your mouth. Like, why am I breathing this in?
We toothbrush it into the atmosphere.
I don't get that. We pay for that for them to what? Kick it onto the sidewalk.
It seems
Just
like a
kick
way
it back to the street.
It's a way to give people parking tickets because you were
Yeah.
on the street during street cleaning.
Yeah.
It's the way of just making money in
Excuse
the
us.
end. But
Way to
yeah,
mix it up.
I can't believe the trash and there aren't too many people because I look at all these buildings and they're all apartments. Where do they all work? That's my next question. Where do all these people go to work?
I don't even know. There's also a lot of empty buildings in Manhattan as well.
Well, they're still building new ones.
It's a whole scam.
This
They're
guy on the-
washing money.
It's true.
These billionaires are just washing money. They're buying huge buildings. No one lives in them because it's too expensive.
I got the scuttlebutt on the street in Manhattan. They're like, yeah, you see that building going up? Nobody likes it. It's blocking the view of the Empire State Building. So people don't like the new buildings going up, but they are going up in New York
Of course
City.
they're going up. What are they going to take them down? Like it's over. People are just going to move out of Manhattan. Also, there's parts of like where I live. There's buildings going up. Like the building that I'm in is a new building. Like I think it was built like 4 years ago or something like that. And there's 4 other buildings that are brand new that have been built in that time also. And there's more going up. So like Manhattan is just being pushed out into the other boroughs. And the same thing is happening in like parts of Queens as well. Like Long Island City is now, I used to live there, but I moved because I popped my tire twice. Literally, I popped my tire, put my car in, got my car back like a week later. It's a tire. And then I popped it like 2 days later and I was like, I'm moving out of this place. Like, I'm not staying here. Too much construction.
I haven't seen a rat yet, though.
I was thinking that too.
Oh.
I thought I was kind of excited. Thought I'd see rats everywhere. I thought I'd see, what's it called when they all get in a knot?
Oh, Rat King?
Ew.
What's it called?
What the hell
there's a
are you
term.
talking
Yeah, I think it's a
about?
Rat King when all their tails get caught.
I'm going to look it
Like
up.
a orgy is what you're talking about? What are you
Yeah,
talking
I
about?
don't.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
but
What's cool when all the rats get together? Like, I don't know.
A rat king is a phenomenon where a group of rats is intertwined with one another at their tails.
Disgusting.
Ew.
Very rare. They've been reported to happen naturally. hope so. I guess they've
Supernatural?
supernaturally, metaphysically, or manually. Yeah. He's collecting them. He's like,
Manually
I was a
tying
Boy
them
Scout,
up.
idiot. You're screwed.
Give these mice a little bow line here.
Yeah.
See if they can get out of it.
Good luck. A little Chinese trap there. Yeah, that's what I was hoping to see, but I haven't seen a single rat. I was seeing videos online of mass hysteria with rats.
Yeah, there's it really depends. At night, you'll probably see them more when people put out their garbage. That's when it's like, if you're walking on the sidewalk and there's piles of garbage, just fucking cross the street because they're there, or they'll just like be running out. There was a place in Astoria, actually, that's where I grew up in Queens, that it's like this apartment complex. And there was one night I was walking to my car or something, and there was a bunch of garbage like out for the garbage to take the next morning, and the sidewalk was like covered, dude. Like I would not be able to walk through it.
Oh, gross.
I was
like a plague
this is
from the Bible.
Insane. But how do you live there? Because
Where do they go when they're not on the sidewalk?
somebody's cupboard, I guess. Like, I don't know.
Saying in someone's house.
Yeah. Oh no, it's terrible. I mean, where I grew up, we had like a mouse in the house like a couple of times in my life, but nothing too consistent. And then I was actually in a nice apartment a couple years ago, and all of a sudden there was a roach in my bathroom, and I'm like, dude, I can't do this. I can't go backwards
The
now.
roaches are the worst.
Okay,
Then-
I will take a roach over a rat.
I would too,
Any day.
Okay.
because those I can kind of like see,
can
and they don't
kill.
like move.
Yeah.
Like they're just kind of like, oh, and I'm like, eh.
Yeah.
But I don't like bugs. So if it
Okay.
flies at me, I'm out. I
You're
Do
can't.
roaches fly?
Bro, some of them.
Some of them.
Some
do.
of them figure it
Yeah,
out.
I mean, I
Figured
I
it
loop everything that's this big and has little hands as a roach, so I don't know like the specific
The
species.
New York ones do.
Yeah.
Some of them fly.
How do you say the full word?
Yeah, I say cockroach.
Oh,
But
is that a New York
I
thing?
think it's a
I
New York
think
thing.
it-
Make it
Cockroach.
3 syllables.
Yeah, well, I do have a father that barely can read, so that's probably why that there are some words. He used to say radiator too, which it took me forever to realize that's not right. It radiates heat. That makes more sense. It's a radiator, not a radiator. But my father is who he is, and that's just what happens.
When Pixar came out with that little, movie about the mouse who can cook, you're like, oh, they're making a movie about a radiator.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty cool, huh?
Ratatouille.
Yeah.
Well, radiator movie.
Remember when I got really, really good at poker?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Wow, she's so supportive.
She probably
That was
loved
cool,
that stage.
right?
Mm-hmm. It was really cool.
Well, to be honest, I wasn't just me. I took I got on Masterclass. We've all heard of this, right?
Yes.
They're a proud sponsor of the show. Masterclass is a place you can learn from the best to become your best. Masterclass is the only streaming platform where you can learn and grow with over 200 plus of the world's best. Daniel Negreanu had a whole breakdown of Texas Hold'em. It was fun to go through.
Oh, yeah.
So then once I'm in there, I hit Gordon Ramsay's a little bit. Got
There
some
you go.
cooking tips. And that's kind of what's cool about it. You go for one thing and you can learn a bajillion things.
Yeah, because you're so smart.
That's part of it.
But trying to get smarter. I don't know how much I've talked about on Correct Opinions, but I'm in a pretty big chess phase right now. And they got a little chess class on Masterclass. Gary with 2 R's is my guy.
yeah, all right.
Hey,
Gary teaches a little
okay.
chess.
Katie, she's way busy living the mom life, but we're going to have to get you on there.
I
Get
know.
you learning a new hobby
That'd
or
be good.
perfecting one. Gardening? I don't know if they have that actually. And she actually didn't do that really, so bad example. But cooking, she started to cook. She's tapped into her mom energy.
definitely need to get better at that. So.
So you guys use our URL. We have an exclusive offer for you guys, of course. Masterclass.com/Trey. You can get 15% off at masterclass.com/Trey. Our listeners get an additional 15% off any annual membership at masterclass.com/Trey. It's a great gift. Something different for someone. Father's
great
Day
idea.
is right around the corner. Birthday, Michaela's maybe.
Hey-o.
It's just later in the episode you'll hear. So masterclass.com/Trey, 50% off, and you guys, we're going to love it.
You give a peace
Peace?
sign to Derek?
You guys are going to love it.
Peace.
When I started podcasting, did I ever thought I'd start an e-commerce?
Did you ever thought?
No, I didn't even. First, I have to figure out what e-commerce means.
Electronic commerce? I don't know.
What is that? A coin? Like one of these
NFCs?
NFCs? But I got one, and we have merch. The Correct Opinions merch we sold via Shopify.
I'm selling pickleball paddles every day on Shopify.
Are you really?
Yeah, we actually are.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Shopify is where you go to find all sorts of the biggest companies or even the smallest. They're selling e-commerce, and there's so many powered by Shopify. They power 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S. And
I got a
they have
buddy.
award-winning customer support as well.
Yeah, one of my friends, he does e-commerce full time, and he said if you're not using Shopify, you are like falling behind. So you got to use Shopify.
Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/correctopinions, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/correctopinions, all lowercase. Now, to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in, shopify.com/correctopinions.
Our son was playing with a little ball and it got stuck under a thing. I went to get it and it was just glued, stuck to a rat trap.
Yeah.
Oh,
So that felt like a fun New York thing.
that's nice.
Peel it off,
Really
give it back to him.
There was there was one time in my apartment. This was years ago, but I had an apartment and I walked into the bathroom one morning and I saw a mouse and I just shut the door. I was like, hell no. So I shoved a towel underneath it because I was like, I can't have this thing running out into my actual apartment because I will lose it. And then I started putting like these various traps down, like every genre of trap you could have, I had.
Alone.
And I had a sick landlord at the time who was like, this one, they come in there, they eat this thing, and then they go back, and it kills all of them. And I was like, I just want them not here.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to like mass murder a species.
Hear
or
him
anything.
begging for their lives in
Yes.
the walls. Yeah.
Hear them, it's so good. I'm like, all right, relax, chill out. But I walked in one morning, and there was like a little small one, and it was on the glue trap. And I was just like,
Dude, the sticky
can't.
trap.
I was like, I can't even. So I just shut the door. And I just didn't go in there for like 3 days.
And you just let it die. Like,
Yeah, like which is
peacefully.
in hindsight so much worse. But the idea of
can't
picking
do
it
it.
up and it like crying
Ew.
and like I'm just like I can't.
So you just didn't use your bathroom?
I had thankfully had 2 bathrooms in that
Okay.
apartment. If I didn't, it probably would have been the sink. To be honest, I have no idea what I would have done because I couldn't go in there. I couldn't see this little animal like upset and crying, and I'm like, well,
Sounds like your landlord would have loved.
Yeah.
he would have.
Call me next
Just
time.
get on video.
Was
Dude,
he
that guy was
squirming?
crazy. His bedroom, because
He
it was
was,
like a
he was
house.
actually just releasing rats in your apartment.
Probably
I got a solution.
got a great video. You gotta watch this one. His bedroom was right below mine because it was just like it was like a 3-story house, and in the basement his mother lived. Classic Italian, like fucking. And he used to watch like gladiator movies until 4 a.m. Dude, I'm not kidding. On volume 150, like so loud. And luckily, I was just young enough to be like, I don't really care. But like,
It's like sick movie.
anyone else, like at this point, I'd be going downstairs like, sir, you know. But
Please.
then I was like, this guy's a nut, dude. It's crazy. What's going on?
The sticky traps are by far the worst way to kill a mouse. I can't believe we're okay with this. Like one, like they just starve to death on it. Or I've had one where they can get an arm free.
No.
And so the next day, either one, you see them crawling away, or 2, the sticky trap is gone. So you're like, I guess we didn't get all of them. We got the back half of them. And he's somewhere living his life, half of him on a sticky trap. He's like a centaur or something.
You know,
No.
you really do. I've been in multiple situations where it's like I gotta get this animal off my property, out of my house, and you finally get it, and then you just become a human again. You're like, I can't.
You're like,
Dude,
what am I doing?
I had such great plans. I'm gonna torture this thing.
Yeah.
I'm
And then
sick
you're
of
like,
it.
I'm a monster.
Yeah, I am a monster. I
Because
can't.
I love animals. Like I love animals. Hate bugs. Hope they all die. But I love animals. And even like mice, I just don't like things that are like quick and like run away. Like if they just chilled, I'd probably like warm up to them a little more. But like they run and they're quick and I'm like, ugh. Like I just don't like little crawly stuff. But that's why when they arrive in my, like when I see videos, you ever see those videos where it's like a mice is running across a like a bucket and it like flips them in there and they just
Yeah.
drown? And I'm
Yeah.
like, these people should be in jail.
Yeah.
But if 100 mice ended up in my garage, there'd be 100 buckets.
Yeah.
And I'd be like,
Yeah,
whatever.
fine.
But as soon as I'm done, I'm like, I'm a horrible person.
Wow, it's really floating in there.
It's
It died.
horrible. Yeah.
100%. I could never. I remember growing up. I grew up like in Oklahoma with like a country grandpa, and he had a raccoon problem, and he trapped the raccoons, and we were like, all right, now what? He's like, we were like a cabin on a lake, and he was just like, and he just walked in the lake and threw the caged raccoon in the lake, and you just see it until it just stopped.
And so now near your
I was
dock,
just like, oh my God.
there's just a bunch of
Papa.
cages with dead.
Get him out! And then he just kind of, chunk him in there, kick it away a little. I mean, that's some crazy. Oh my gosh.
That is
brutal.
why I don't like lakes. I mean, that's one of the reasons why.
Wow, it's very specific.
Because old men are drowning animals in them.
That is
There's
a
raccoon after raccoon.
I mean, you don't do that in the ocean. People
It's
do that
more
in
of a
lakes.
real redneck lake move. I'll say.
Yeah.
But it's horrifying. We had a possum. We were on our back patio.
Oh,
and she just screams, possum above us. So I'm like, oh, and you're trying to run away. And then I'm verbally assaulting the possum.
That doesn't
And then I
work.
finally kind of start throwing sticks at it. And I kind of hit it. And then immediately you're like, oh, sorry.
Yeah. Why are you making me do that?
And then it occurred to me that's what
He's
possums do. They
playing
don't
possum.
move
Yeah.
when they're scared. And then I was just like, I'm so sorry.
It's like, this is a weird thing that we're in
I
now.
wish you knew English.
Now it's awkward.
Now you're going to make it comfortable, right?
Yeah. You
All
have to
right.
go in the bucket of water now.
Yeah.
No.
It's funny you mentioned the bucket of water because I have a video to show you. This is my personal video. You'll see it's dated 8 days ago.
Of a dateable
Oh,
drowning.
no.
This is my kitchen.
You have it?
Is it swimming?
What
Is
is
it swimming?
Is it a
you
mouse?
did count.
It
It's
can't.
not.
It's lifeless.
This is 8 days ago. I can't believe you knew about the bucket.
Yeah, dude.
And you caught one in the bucket.
The bucket's great, dude.
That's unbelievable.
And you just woke up none the wiser what had happened.
I woke up pumped because I caught a mouse in a bucket.
Did you
Yeah, but then you gotta get
see
rid of
this mouse a few times?
See, when it comes to
or-
mouse disposal, I would rather dump out a bucket of water than have to grip the trap and then not touch the trap and throw
Yeah.
that away in my own personal garbage. I don't know. Where do you put the mouse?
Where did you put it?
I'm out in the suburbs. I just dump it in the backyard. Fox will find it later.
It's awesome.
You talking about some
Threw it in the living room.
up on the roof.
Dead now.
An eagle will get
Yeah,
it.
what
I
do
don't
you
know.
we had this is Kansas City stuff. What animal was it? A rabbit?
When? Where?
That our neighbor Marco got.
Oh,
What animal?
we have one of those recessed
It's a
windows.
window
down to our
well for like a
basement.
basement window.
Yeah.
And he was weed eating next door, and he was like,
Very nice neighbor.
I was outside. He was like, "Hey, you got a rabbit down here, but it's in a couple pieces. Do you want me to get it for you?" And I was like, "Yes."
So it's probably a 5-foot rabbit fell down, probably just died, sad,
and
then
something
some
came
other
down and
something
ate
else
it and tore it apart.
had worked on it.
That's not how you say that, also.
Yeah.
You don't say, there's a rabbit and it's in pieces.
You ever say Slinky? He's kind of like that.
Yeah. I was just like, "Yeah, you got it. Thanks." I mean,
Especially if
Do you
know
want me to get it? Imagine you were like, no, I
got it,
want to
I
get
got
it.
it.
Don't touch it. No.
Hey, beat it.
I was saving that.
What are you
Put
doing?
it down there.
If you know he's weed eating too, you're like, "What'd you do to the rabbit,
Yeah,
man?
yeah.
It's gonna be in a few pieces." I thought it was a rock. I don't know. I'm sorry.
That's
You just weed eat it. I can just keep weed eating it.
which I'm really glad because
It will
Bulge it
eventually
up.
turn into dust, and then a fox will eat it.
I mean,
so.
you wouldn't have wanted to get that.
Not at all.
I
I'm
mean-
I'm anti-bug. Icky.
Yeah,
I
nah,
don't do icky.
I don't like that.
Icky.
I wasn't there for the birth of the child. Don't do it.
Oh my god.
Didn't want to touch it. I was
Yeah,
like, I'll
clean
wait till
him
he's
off
3. I
first.
don't know.
Yeah.
No, I really don't. She, feminine. She's the women. We're
I am
equal,
braver
da, da, da,
than
and
you.
she gets
That's
the bugs.
what-
I'm like,
Yeah.
let's live this out. I don't
Yeah.
like the bugs.
My
I-
least. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I could tough it out if I have to, but I would love nothing more than to be completely dominated in that department. To be like, I'll kill it. Like,
Dude, no, it's bad. A girl that works for me, Hannah, she's a beast. She what scenario were we in? Oh, there was a dead bird on the patio.
Oh yeah.
Of
It
the
has been sitting on our
studio.
patio.
And
for a
I'm not gonna
while.
lie to you. I stepped over. It was a dead little sparrow. Just I think it hit a window.
yeah.
And I stepped over it for 3 days. I'm like, I don't want to. One of these days, I'm gonna work up the courage. I'm gonna have to do it. And
Or maybe
she
like a
just
cat
walked
would
by
you
and
get
just
it?
grabbed it with her hand and threw
She
it in.
did.
Okay.
She
Fired.
She
What?
did.
I was like, you're a woman. I just want to make it clear I didn't ask you to do that. But
She's like, what's this?
what's this?
Dead. The hell are you doing?
It was a psycho move.
That is scary.
I mean, but amazing.
Yeah.
Thank
I've,
you.
I've actually had that happen where a bird hit like a window, I guess, and died on my balcony at an apartment that I was in. And, I was just going to let nature take over and it decomposes. It's like, it's composting kind of, isn't it?
Yeah,
doing your part.
Supporting.
And after a while, it's like, well, if you don't get it the first day, it's even worse because it's like, now it's decomposing. Ew. I don't want to pick it up.
Do you like what floor were you on? How high?
6.
Okay. Did you ever think you just kind of like
I thought about it and it happened.
Just watch out.
Yeah, anybody was like, what are you doing? I'd be like, I thought he was alive. I don't know.
Yeah.
He stopped flying. Yeah.
What the hell?
You're supposed to fly, right?
I'm on your team. I'm confused too. Yeah, it was like on like the side of like a chair, and I just took the whole chair, and I was like, ew.
And then the sweeper will get it.
Yeah,
Pick it back up, and
it's
then,
all dust.
Yeah, eventually it'll be in all of our lungs. So.
My least favorite thing. This is just an animal podcast episode now. Is I can't do snakes. That's my one thing. I'm just like terrified of snakes. I think they're the worst. And my least favorite thing is to be told, "Hey, wait, what are you freaking out about? They're more scared of you than you're scared of them." Really?
No, they aren't.
Because that snake is not wetting himself right now.
Yeah.
And I am. So there's no way that's true.
That's not true at all. Yeah, they'll wrap themselves around you and constrict you.
Yeah.
There's some that do that to you.
They're more afraid of you. I'm like, I guarantee that's not true because it doesn't even know I'm here and I'm scared.
Yeah.
Also, I hate when people are like, keep those bugs. They eat the bad bugs. I'm like, get them all out of here. I don't want that. Like, leave that spider. It'll eat flies. I'm like, what do you think? There's just going to be flies around? I'm like,
No.
It's like, what do you think this is?
Why I have
This is
a
a
fly
barn.
swatter.
Fly swatter. We have feral like cats in our city, and I'm like, well, no rats. Like, none of.
Yeah.
None. Do none.
Okay, I will take a feral.
It's like
cat
how
over
do
a rat.
we keep going? Like, well, that's something that kills the cat. That kills the.
Yeah.
I don't want any of them.
Woolly mammoths are good.
Homeless people start eating cats, and they're like, well, at least there's no cats.
Yeah.
You got a lot of homeless, but no cats.
Full stomach.
Count your blessings.
Yeah.
Like, all right. I don't want this whole, like, food chain here that you've
None of it.
created. Please.
Snakes. You had a brother who had a pet snake?
Yeah.
That's a red flag.
See, that's.
I was shocked that my parents
He's-
allowed it. It was like they required like books to be stacked on top of the cage.
Yeah.
It was like locked in.
Was it
But
big?
It wasn't too big, but it was like
What kind?
I don't
Was it
know.
because what? How many types of subsets?
You're asking
of
the
know
wrong
gigantic
person. I have no idea.
Boas.
Yeah, boas.
But I
Anacondas,
do know it
pythons.
ate little mice.
Was it one of those that you throw the mice in? And
Yes. So
cracks
it was
its
like
bones?
a neighborhood viewing where like all the kids would come over and they'd put the. I never watched it. But
Your brother's doing well, right?
I mean he is.
That
yeah.
is that is when it's like a serial killer
Yeah,
documentary.
sadist.
And like, well, when
100%.
he was 8,
He sold
He
tickets
giggled.
for a
He
mouse
sold
feeding show. He was always a businessman.
Yeah.
That was maybe a sign.
We used to do that too. My brother had a bearded dragon, which just looks like a gecko, and you feed them like crickets. But he had something. I don't know if it was that, but there was one that was like little baby.
That you like
Mice,
buy
I
the baby
think.
mice. Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, it's weird that didn't affect me back then. Now that I'm thinking about it, because I would go with him to the pet store, and it's like, yeah, let me get a bag of dead baby mice, and I'm
so
like,
gross.
with this. Like now I'd be like, I'm not getting this animal because I have to feed it other dead animals. Like I'm not doing that. I have a dog, dry food, whatever. That's it.
Yeah,
That
we
is
had
it.
some rabbits. They were like supposed to be dwarf rabbits, like really tiny, but they were not. Nothing about them is dwarf. And I think we kind of just got like tired of them. One of them died by unnatural causes by a neighbor, and then the other one.
A Nate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
unnatural
human?
causes, by the way, sounds like murder.
Yeah.
To me.
The weed eater
Low
got
key,
involved.
he was chasing it and kicked it, and then fell on it and like actually smushed it.
What a way to go.
What is going on?
Kicked it, fell on it, smushed it. Big boy?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Not a
mean,
dwarf.
He did. Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry. I think it's
I mean, imagine. I think I was
like in
probably
the
like.
cartoons they turn into like
It's like I also ruined my pants and it's yours, so I feel like you owe me pants.
my pants. I have to get them special order.
I
Yeah,
mean,
right.
I don't even like animals that much, but 8-year-old Katie seeing an actual flattened rabbit
Yeah.
was
Did it
not.
make a noise?
I don't know. I didn't see the smushing. I just
like a
saw the
deflated
aftermath.
balloon.
Make a noise.
No. And the other one, I think my parents gave to someone who like used it as like food for another animal. I really think they did.
Circle of life. This is how we do it, kids.
Both of your animals did not have a good
Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have too many animals.
Did you ever like how the beta fish fight each other? You ever know these?
Oh, like the fighter fish? They're like
those, you just buy them like $1 at the pet store back
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
They always say you just can't put them, they're territorial. So then I remember, one time you're like a stupid teenager, like, we're going to put them. And you put them in there, and within 10 seconds, you're like, oh, this is sad.
how do they fight? They
Just kind of,
They start like eating each other, right?
I mean, it's pretty, I mean, they're this big. So they just kind of run into each other. And you're kind of like, and you're like,
what am I doing?
And then one starts to like win, and you're like, oh, separate them.
Yeah.
It's not.
See, that's the difference between you and like Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer would be like, let's get a 10-on-10 going. In this little bowl.
And make them gay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want gay fish doing it.
Yeah. And then I'm going to eat the carcass.
Yeah.
It's like, all right.
And that's the
circle of life there.
That's how you get there.
So that's
been the animals part. Yes,
New
New
York
York trash. Back
circle
to
there.
New York things. Can I ask you another thing about? So I took one of my first subway rides a few days ago, and it was a crowded one. So I was able to get a seat, which I didn't know if that was allowed. I'm like an able-bodied man.
Yeah.
Should this be only elderly? And I don't know. I'm trying to be polite, Midwest guy, but I get a seat, and then it starts to really fill up. And so there's like spots to hang on. You know what a subway is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll take on really fast tube.
Yeah.
Metal, mostly metal.
And a guy, so my question is, how normal is this? You will be me sitting in your seat, and I will be a guy who has no spot to sit.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, and that's pretty far away, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So it depends what train you are, but that is pretty far away. I've been sitting down sometimes, and like I've given up sitting down on the subway a decade ago.
Okay.
Because you'll be sitting and someone will be like between your legs. And I'm like,
It's crazy.
Whoa.
is this a strip club now?
Yeah.
Are you gonna drop it on here?
It's called the F
like,
train.
what's going on? Yeah, it is called the F train. It's like, what is going on? But yeah, I always try to get a spot near a door. Like if I could lean my back against a door, like I'll be there.
That's the best.
Especially because if some shit starts going down, I'm out. Like I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Have you seen stuff go down on the train?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I remember also when I was the first time ever that I took the subway, because in Astoria there is a train that takes you to Manhattan, and I got on the train, and you just like hear all these stories, and my parents are like, "Be careful and be aware. If you see something, say something." I was like, "I'm not saying anything. If I see anything, I'm running." And you're sitting down, and I just wasn't used to this, but the people that come on the trains and they're selling something for like a basketball team. Dude, I'm sitting on this train. I think it went one stop and the door flung open and the guy's like, "Yep, selling kit." And I'm like, and he was loud as hell. And I'm like, oh no, man. I was like, this is where it ends. It's over. But he was just trying to sell some like peanut M&Ms or something for a basketball team, that probably doesn't exist. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
It's probably not a basketball team. But
where would you rank like the worst like people to be bothered by on like a subway? Like let's talk, like the performers, like the dancers.
You ever support the performers?
Yeah, I mean, no, I've never given them money. If that's like, I'm like, yeah, this is fire. I'm cheering you on, but like, I definitely am not. I don't know, like, I don't have money on me. I'm just not going to do that. But I don't have a problem with that as much as I do have a problem with like people who just have no etiquette whatsoever. And this is something that I complain about every single week of my life in some capacity. Planes, gyms, and then public transportation. People just have no idea how to act on these things.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane. Like and some people are just so like entitled. Like I remember I was on a flight and there was this woman, she gets on, she basically has 2 carry-ons for her, puts them both up, puts her jacket up, then starts throwing. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you get 1.5.
Yeah,
maybe.
like, what are you doing? Like, this is like your personal closet all of a sudden. And then, like, I don't know. I actually got into an interesting situation. I want to ask you guys your opinion on this. So I was on a flight coming back from Portugal, and it was like a long trip, and I was just like, you know what? There was like a bidding system to get like a first class seat. I was like, I'm gonna get this.
Yeah,
like I'm outbidding. So I ended up getting it, and I'm sitting down, and I can see the guy that I'm sitting next to. His daughter is probably like 11 years old, and she's on the seat in front of him, looking at him like this, like over the top of the seat. And they're talking, and then when I walk up, they both look at me, and I was like, oh, I already know what this is. So I get into my seat and I immediately throw my headphones in and like, I'm asleep. Right? So I was like, don't, please, no. And then the guy, touches my leg and he's like, hey, oh no, that's not what happened. Sorry. I got on and I was sitting down and then a guy was like, do you mind switching with my wife? She's at the same seat, like, cause I was on a window. He's like, same seat, just like that. I was like, yeah, sure. So I switch. Then I got to that one and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to sleep. And then the guy hits me and he's like, hey, do you mind switching with my daughter to whatever?
He was like warming you up with the first one. I'm like, all right, we got him right where we want him.
Yeah. So what would you do in that situation? Like,
so he wanted you.
Are you hopping around first class?
The same guy asked you to move twice.
No.
Two different guys.
It was two different guys. Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, was the second seat, was it a aisle or window?
No, that one was an aisle.
Oh,
so it was
so
a changing of the seats.
You were going from window to aisles. What he wanted.
Is what he wanted.
Yeah.
So that his daughter,
Which you're a window guy. You wanted the window.
I wanted a little this.
Yes.
You know
How
what I mean?
cute was the daughter? What the relationship look like?
Yeah.
Like, did
Honestly,
you want them to succeed?
I'll be honest with you. At that point, like I said, it was a long trip, so I was already kind of run down, and I was like, I ended up saying no, which I didn't say no and do that to the daughter. I was like, oh, I just moved for this guy.
Just got done switching.
And the guy was like, I'm like out of breath. I'm like, I just got here.
I had to bid on it.
Yeah, like you have no idea.
No idea what I've been through.
The lengths that I've been through to get this. And the guy was like, oh, no problem. The girl, like
The little girl.
She looks away from me and looks at her dad. And he goes, oh, he just moved. So like, it's, whatever. And she goes, so no to him. Right. And I'm like,
Oh,
what
wow.
the hell?
Yeah,
I can hear
wow.
you. She's like, so no? And he's like, Emma, go sit down. Like literally like that. Right. So now I'm responsible
You're kind of
for this. And she's like, something about like she was going to tell her mom or whatever. And he's like, Emma, just go. And she went and she's like, I'm going to switch with mom. He's like, do whatever you want. Like now they're fighting. And at a point, I was just
This
like,
is why I see you every other weekend.
Yeah.
You do this.
Yeah,
You're like,
right.
what am I?
I was just like, you know what? I'm glad I said no to her.
Yeah, you made the right
Because
decision.
Also, there was like a bunch of them, like a family like there. So they were like kind of scattered around. So she was sitting next to one of her family members anyway. And she had like other
No,
like
you're fine.
kids that were there. And I was like,
Oh.
bro, if you would have sat me next to like little Larry or something, I'm like, why am I doing this? So I was glad.
No,
that I
I'm
didn't
on
switch.
your team. I would have done that, and
I'm like one switch, bro. I'll switch for sure. I'll even may have switched to like the aisle the first time, but 2 times.
It's like when someone sneezes. I'll say bless you the first time.
Yeah.
2, you're pushing it.
Yeah.
2, I'm going to stay in my seat.
I do feel like as a single person on an airplane, you are a target for like getting asked to move,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
you don't matter really.
Yeah.
So
I also don't really understand that the sitting next to.
Oh,
Like,
that's-
I'm not talking.
You ever
to
been
you?
you ever been asked to get moved for like a couple? They're like 35-year-olds that are a couple, and like I just would like to sit by. I was like, grow up.
Yeah, like
You should use some time apart. It was a 4-hour flight.
what is going on?
Yeah, no, I'm not moving.
It's like I feel like I'm saving one of you by saying no, so I'm going to say
Yeah.
no.
I understand. It's like my little 6-year-old. She's by herself. You're like,
Yeah,
but yeah, come on.
that would
I mean,
be
first
insane.
class is different. I mean, your 11-year-old. She's living the dream.
Yeah, and
It's
like
fine.
they're all there, like the
Yeah.
whole family. It's the McAllisters are there, and like
They're
you're
all
like, what do you
first
want me to do here? Like,
That's funny.
I'm just gonna hop around until you guys are all
So
comfortable.
he said no. He said no.
Literally, dude, I was like,
I'm like, what?
because she was like, so no, and he's like, Emma. What the hell is going on? These kids.
Have you ever been in like a social situation like that where you're faced with like potentially being nice to someone, but they also know who you are? So like you're like, well, now, I mean, they love the basement yards.
Yeah,
I
does
feel
that
like
start to as you've obviously become more and more popular? Like, does that start to eke in public things? Like, oh, what if somebody's
what if they're
I'm about to
a
go
fan?
off on this 11-year-old, but I shouldn't.
No, because I'm not confrontational in the way that I will start something because it takes a lot to like whatever. But I'm also I would say I have a short fuse for if someone's starting with me, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, like I will definitely not go out of my way to like make an issue or anything. Like I would never be like, control your daughter. Like, like something like that is like crazy. And I feel like sometimes like there's some just very entitled white
Sane
people that love
people.
doing that. Like, I don't think your daughter should be doing that. It's like,
Excuse
shut
me.
the hell up.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? So I'm not very confrontational in that way. I don't think I've ever been in that sort of situation
Yeah.
that someone like knows who I am, so it sort of changed my behavior. Because for the most part, like in public situations, I like that's one of my biggest sort of things. So like in restaurants and stuff, like I don't want to be too loud. I don't want to like make a scene or whatever. And it has nothing to do with that. There may be people that know who I am. It's just like there's a lot of people here.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't want that happening to me or whatever the case. So I haven't really run into that.
You're a man. You value awareness, and some people
Yeah.
don't. Some people don't.
Yeah.
They're just living their life, just acting a fool.
Yeah, just going crazy.
Screaming.
It's crazy,
It's
man.
too much. You get recognized when you're like out to eat, like right at the end, they'll be like, by the way, big fan. And then you're like, now I got to tip really well. They hit you
Maybe
with
that is something too. But I also worked as a waiter at one point. I was a pizza delivery boy at
You're
one
already
point.
tipping well.
So I like usually try to like go out of my way too. Like no one's ever gonna be like $5.
Yeah, right.
What the fuck? But yeah, so I'm pretty good with that also because I've been there. And I've there was one time I was delivering pizzas and my boss comes over to me and was just like, there's this lady, she's old as hell. Like she wants 2 slices. Like just bring it to her. We usually like deliver. I was like, yeah, no problem. So I bring it to her and she gives me I think she gave me $5 or something. This was a while ago. A slice of pizza is $5 now. But she gave me $5 and then I gave her change. Like I just gave her the exact change and I'm like, all right, thank you. Because I'm not really expecting her to be like, here you go, here's my house. And she just gives me a quarter.
No.
And I was like, that is so awesome.
Yeah.
Like, that is so funny. He's like, here, take a quarter. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Gladys.
It's almost sweeter than like more. You're just
Yeah.
like, this felt right. Like when your grandparents gave us your 95-year-old grandparents gave us, what was it, Christmas? We each got was it like a $10 Amazon gift card each
Yeah.
separately?
Yeah.
We're married. Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, you guys treat yourselves now.
Yeah.
Separate.
One time I received a card from my grandparents and it had $2 in it. And it said, go buy yourself some strawberries.
That's amazing.
I was like, this is
Meanwhile, my grandpa's drowning raccoons.
because
What a
they
sweet
knew I love
upbringing she had.
strawberries. And so I was like, wow, that's so nice.
I've had that happen too. I remember when I was probably 15 years old and I was walking down the street with these 2 girls that I knew, and this old woman stops me and she gives me $10 and she goes, buy them a root beer float.
Is this a riddle? What next?
She goes,
You a
"Go
time
buy-"
traveler?
She's like, go buy them a root beer float. I was like, oh my God, are you serious? She's like, yeah, go buy that. We didn't buy root beer floats.
Sure.
That went right in here.
Yeah.
But it was funny. If like, go buy a root beer float. I'm like, I mean, it's not 1940, so
Where
I
you
don't.
get
We're
those?
not going to do that. I've never had one, but it was very
so funny.
cute.
Literally, just yesterday, a guy, he wasn't speaking English, but he was holding a $5 bill like in front of my face, trying to get me to take it. And I feel like little like sheltered Midwest bars, like this is a scam somehow. I don't know what's
what is
going
that?
on. I don't know what the next part is. But I
Yeah.
was just like, no thanks.
You
I
ever
don't
see the
understand.
video? of
Money,
the-
no.
there's like a jewelry guy. He works in the Diamond District, I believe, and he like goes out on the street and he like tries to give away silver, which it'd be like $500
Oh, I've
of
seen
silver.
these.
Oh,
So like it's
yeah.
funny because that could be a video in New York because no one's taking that. Like, bro, I'm not taking anything.
Yeah, does he
from
do like,
anybody.
you want a Kit
Right.
Kat or silver or something like that? I
Those
feel
are
like that's the
annoying.
thing
I
I've
see
seen.
they're like, it's like an envelope and they're just like inside it's like courtside seats to the Knicks or
Yeah,
something.
and
They're just like
holding it
they're
out.
just like
no one's
hitting
taking
people in the
it.
face. Like first one to grab it.
Yeah,
Like well, who? leave
yeah.
me
That's
alone.
why I would never accept anything because I'd be like, huh, this is.
What's next?
Am I being tracked or what's
Mhm.
going on here? I don't like this at all.
I was hoping to again. I'm sure this isn't as widespread as I think, but a ton of videos. You'll be like, what do you do for a living? Hey, sir, what do you?
Right? Yeah.
I was just hoping to see
you were
that.
really wanting that.
No, not
Oh,
really. I don't know.
okay.
I think I probably would have just been like, no, thank you. But I don't know if I'd get tracked down by
They're all
It
like
sounds
in
like they're everywhere.
Soho.
Soho's the
Yeah.
place.
It's like, what do you do for a living? Or like now those videos are so
Can I
not,
see your
not
house?
those are just like kind of annoying to me now because the concept I think is cool, but it's absolutely completely fake now.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
you run
Tell.
into some famous person.
They're like,
you're
oh, oops.
oh, can I see your house, Robert De Niro? And he's like, okay.
I got a minute.
Clearly, this is set up now. You've ruined the thing. So it's not as cool, but
It lost its luster when they started doing like the girl from Shark Tank was on it, and they're tagging people and
Yeah,
like,
Shark
this is a
Tank. Yeah, yeah.
business.
Capitalism.
Okay. This is not as
Gummit.
money, dude.
Money. Dadgummit.
I maybe I should have known better. This was back to my first subway ride, but I'm going to pay for a Metro card. It's a couple days ago, and I feel like they could just spot me. They just know I'm not from around here.
Yeah.
So some woman comes up and is like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Habla español? I'm like, un poco. She's like, what do you need? She's like, okay, English. And she was like, don't buy a card. Don't buy a card. I have a card for you. She's wheeling. She was like a street magician. She's like doing all stuff. She's putting her card in, showing me, look, 580. I'm like, I don't know how much anything costs. I don't know what 580 can give me. She's like, I have 580 in my card. You don't buy a card, you give me $5. I give you my card for $5. So I was like, okay.
Whoa.
I think I know what's happening. So instead of paying the $1 fee,
Right.
I just pay you. Like, I think I'm understanding. I don't think she's scamming me. So I'm like, all right, great. And so then I get on my wallet to pay her $5, and she was like, "Oh, and $5 for me to get something to eat. $5 to get something to eat." And I was like, "Whoa, no. The deal was
You're getting targeted out here.
$5."
Yeah.
And then she's not leaving me-
100 though. 100. Let's call it even there.
Yeah.
down payment on a home, and I leave you alone. That's it. Yeah, she just wouldn't stop pounding me. Of course, I gave her the $5 to get something to eat, and she's like, $5 more, train back home. And I was like, what have I done?
There was one time
You gave her
where,
10?
I gave her 10 total. I put my foot down
dude.
after $10 though. I said, that's it.
Wow, what a strong guy.
Yeah.
10, that was all, dude.
That was all.
And it happened 10 other times as well.
Yeah.
I'm out 100 since I've been here. That happened to me too, though. There was a time where there's like bins where you could donate a bunch of clothes. So whenever
Okay.
I'm like going like through my closet and just like purging, I will like donate all of them. So I drove there one time and I saw this homeless guy there. He was like, it's like next to a gas station, like these big bins. And I saw this homeless guy there. So I was like, dude, I got a bunch of clothes. Like, do you want some? And he's like, yeah. So I like opened it up. I was like, yeah, these is, whatever. And he's like, yeah, I'll take it. And then I had like, I don't know why, but I had like a bunch of Gatorades in my car for something.
Hey, are you thirsty? And what size waist are you?
Yeah, literally. So I was like, oh, you want these? And he's like, dude, yes. And he was like, whatever. And he was super cool. And then I'm like, all right, like, take it easy. Like, that was easier for me. And I don't have to open a thing and throw it in. And then he's like, can I get a ride somewhere? I was like, Dad, I can't.
Oh, there we go.
I was like, nope, Dad, I can't do it. He's like, all right. Like,
I figured. Yeah.
And he's like, how about a nice, we hang out at your house and cuddle.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, no.
Only thing.
Yeah, no. He knew too. It was so funny. It was like a really
great.
funny interaction too, because he's like, all right. He's like, I was gonna see if I could get something else. But
You
I'm
seem like a
good.
nice guy. That's so funny.
Yeah.
We left a grocery store, self-checkout. Boop, 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 bang, out. And then, sir, you're like, you didn't pay. I'm like, run back down. I'm so sorry. And then she's pointing to another kiosk. And someone clearly just bailed. I was like, no, I paid on that one. And then I was in a thing. And then she immediately she was like, went from like very convinced, like you, and then she just stopped looking at me and spoke another language. And then I took that as I'm done here and I ran off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Have you ever tried to give like a homeless person someone and they say no?
Like food?
Yeah, I one time was trying to give, I had like a whole box of pizza that was like not even touched. And they looked at me and they said, I'm trying to avoid gluttony.
Gluttony?
Yes,
You're like,
I am not
do you mean
kidding
gluten-y?
you.
Yeah, I thought you were mispronouncing gluten.
I am dead serious. And I was like,
I'm overeating, to be honest. People are
was
so
like-
generous.
I am
Wow.
very full.
Okay.
Thank you.
Me, I'm stuffed.
I'm stuffed. Always room for dessert. You got any meth?
yeah, I was like, okay, never mind.
That's kind of like when you,
How?
it kind of makes you feel dumb. You're like, you
Yeah.
go up to a homeless person, you're like, I'm going to help you. Like, no, thanks. You're like, am I the stupid one here?
Yeah.
You're right.
Man,
I
you gotta go back to
suck.
my house, I guess.
Yeah. I suck so
Suck at
bad.
this.
Like,
give
am
it
I
away.
causing you to have gluttony? What
Yeah.
is? What? Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, take it, resell it for more. This could
Yeah.
be a business. And I'm trying to avoid greed. Like, oh,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Can't get through this guy.
Any of the 7 deadly sins, I don't really.
I don't
Yeah.
mess with those, no.
Not really into that. That's funny.
Dude, I think we've been going your tour. It's sold out. We're gonna promo stuff. It's sold out. Every single ticket. Yeah.
It is.
But you're
yeah.
gonna do more cities, maybe.
Yeah, we're possibly like adding some shows along the way. We'll see if it fits into the schedule.
It's a live podcast with some.
Yeah, it's like the first half of it is basically like stand up, and then the second half we have like some structure to it, so it feels
Cool.
sort of like the podcast as well.
Are you doing some stand up? Have you been doing stand up for a while?
No, I completely avoided that for a while.
Yeah.
But you're starting.
But yeah, I'm starting to like
yeah.
do it now. Which is like what the shows are. Like I always just tell Frank before we go out. I'm like, yeah, I got like bunch of jokes about this, and he's like, all right. So he'll like jump in moments that he can jump in, but it's basically like a bit that I've like written. So,
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You'd be great at stand up. I mean, that's gonna be sick. You're mostly in the Northeast? What are you doing, like Chicago?
No,
What are you?
we're all over. We're in like Toronto. We have Seattle and
Oh, cool.
Chicago, Nashville, Atlanta, Texas.
Let's go. What are you playing in Nashville? Do you know?
I don't.
Is the Ryman?
No.
What is it? It's sold out. Whatever it is.
Whatever it is, it's sold out.
Tour life. That's fun, man.
It's the James K. Polk Theater.
James K. Polk, how's he doing?
I don't know. Is that the
Yeah.
president? Who is
Yeah,
that?
I think so.
You know one who died in the bathtub?
I knew there was a Polk. I think that was what's his name?
Tubman.
W.
Harriet
Tubman.
What?
Bathtub.
Bathtub. Harriet Tubman.
Yeah.
Am I
Taft?
close? No, Taft.
Taft.
William
Howard.
Howard.
William Howard Taft.
Eventually we got it.
You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
That's called teamwork,
I
folks.
couldn't go over 2 there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he died
In a tub.
in the tub, Elvis on a toilet.
Things happen in bathrooms for sure. A lot of people die on. This is kind of weird to say, but one of my friends. Shouldn't say one of my friends. Someone I know that exists is a cop, and one day was like, "Look at this," and it was a person who died on a toilet. I was like, I don't want to fucking see
Oh,
They
this.
yeah.
showed you a picture?
Yeah. And I was like, why the fuck am I seeing this right now?
I felt a little bad about the mouse in the bucket, but now
Yeah,
I don't
no,
feel
now
bad
seeing
at
it
all.
fully well, I mean, I
Wow.
didn't set up a trap for this guy. I was enjoying a day, and I somehow this landed on me, and I'm like, what the hell?
He was stuck to it. Like, that's a weird trap.
I'm like, do I have to report this
It was
now?
number
Am I
2.
part of something?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Kind of number 2. Just
Yeah, apparently that's a thing. Like a lot of people die on the toilet.
I
Like a
wasn't
lot of
good.
old people die on the toilet. I don't know. I think it's like some of your heart.
You push one last
Squeeze.
push.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
something
one
like
last
that. I
push.
guess I don't know.
Gave it everything you
I
had.
think. I mean, there'd be way worse ways to go. I wouldn't mind that. I mean, the toilet to me is kind of my sanctuary.
In a way, yeah.
Mhm.
I
Great
would
place
like
to
to
be.
think my couch or bed, but toilet's up there too.
Toilet?
Top 5.
Because I've always heard humans, their body, you kind of like know as your final moments come on. I've like read stuff that doctors will say, like if someone's, they'll just kind of whisper, like, this is it, and then they'll pass.
That's
So,
wild.
yeah, it is, right? So I wonder if you're on the toilet and you're just kind of pushing, you're like,
This is the last one.
I have one more push, and I'm coming home.
Yeah, right.
It's got to be a good feeling. To know you
I'm
don't have
gonna
to wipe.
finish this shit, and then it'll be it.
That'll
That's
finish.
that's where the last thing I'm gonna do. That is crazy too, because I've also heard stories about people who are dying, like holding on, and then they see like their last loved one, and then they're like, okay, and they die like
And they poop.
immediately.
Yeah.
after.
Oh, then they,
Yeah.
then they poop. They're holding.
No.
Well, sometimes
why?
that happens, I guess.
My love.
Good night.
Trey.
That is really sweet. I mean, they're definitely my grandparents. They were just deathbed, dying, and it's like when they finally saw the family, they
Yeah. My grandmother
poop
was
everywhere.
Yeah.
my
I've done.
grandmother was so excited to die, dude.
Yeah,
She was just like she was laying in bed. Like I remember she was in the hospital and I went with my mom to see her, and she's a gangster. Like she's like this Irish woman who's just like she was walking to get groceries. She had to take a bus
Oh,
to
wow.
get to the grocery store, then take the bus with her groceries and get home, then walk to her apartment in her 80s was doing this. A psycho person. So she was in the hospital, and I remember I was there with my mom, and then my mom went to the bathroom and she's like, Joey, come here. And then I go over and she's like, get me the fuck out of here. And I was like, what do you want me to
Smother
wheel
me
you
right
out
now,
of here?
yeah.
I was like, what are you
one
talking
pillow,
about?
one pillow to the face.
And then she kept requesting of like, listen, I'm going, like just let me go. So we took her out, and she was staying at my aunt's house, and she was there for a while. She was in the bed. She was surrounded by like my mom, her 2 daughters, and like my sister was there and stuff. My mom is like, we all be sitting in the room, and she's like laying there sleeping like peacefully. Like we don't, we had to check to see if she's still alive at times. She's there for like over a week. And my mom said that she would wake up and she would see my mom, and she'd be like,
Oh my gosh.
she's like, still here?
Yeah,
Dang
still
it.
no wings.
Yeah, right. No wings. But she would say, it's interesting because she would say stuff like that. She was a very religious woman, but she would say stuff like, who are all those people in here? We're like, what?
Oh,
Like, so,
oh,
so she
wow.
would say stuff like that. And, It was kind of wild, but I thought it was just so funny that she would see my mom and be like,
Dude, yeah.
Again.
"Not
It's
you."
like when it's like a whole other level. You like wake up and look at your alarm. You're like, gosh, dang it, I gotta get up.
Yeah,
she's just
like,
every time you're like, please tell me. it's
yeah, my mom's over there like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
Earth again?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
But
Wow.
Yeah, I remember my grandfather. He had like a disease. He was like basically blind, and he had strokes. He couldn't really. Maybe he was just laying there, and he would just be like, I'm done. And I remember one time where for like Christmas, just trying, anything. So he loved to watch sports, but now he can't even really see it. So they were like, we got you headphones and like a subscription to like Audible or something where you can listen to audiobooks. He was just like, why would I want to do that? And we're like, okay.
she's like, "I actually love the fact that I'm deaf. I can't hear any of you."
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
Well, cool. Joe Santagato, thanks again, dude.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Check
having
out the
me. I
Basement
appreciate
Yard, Santagato Studios. Check it all out.
Yeah,
People
content
listening?
everywhere. Follow them everywhere. Basement Yard Podcast. Dude, and we're just honored you're on the pod.
Yeah, dude, had a
Here
lot
in
of fun.
Brooklyn.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thanks,
it.
man.
Have fun with the tour.
Yep.
Thank you again, Joe Santagato. Dude, I'm getting nervous. It's not even here.
Joe Santagato.
No, don't go anywhere. We know we have a lot of probably new listeners, and we're honored. And that was such a great interview. And I hope you enjoyed it, new listener.
Yeah, hope you stick around. We come out with a podcast every Wednesday. Never miss a Wednesday, unless it's like Christmas. And
Jake
then
said
who cares?
it's to picture like when someone's like leaving a room, like, yep, I'm done here. And we're going, wait.
Hold on, there's more.
Yeah, and I wish I could grab them. Wish I could grab you guys.
Just imagine us
He's-
grabbing you right
they're
now.
Yes,
grabbing
that's
you
what-
through the screen.
Yes, that's because we're
That's really
a loving
good.
podcast.
Yeah, good visit.
And if we meet you in
visualization.
person, we grab you.
We'll
Jake,
do it.
Look at his mustache.
Yeah,
Does that say grabby or no?
You think I haven't grabbed before?
Certainly
With love?
does.
Yeah, this is the Correct Opinions podcast. Every Wednesday morning, we just talk about our lives and what's going on. We're touring comedians. I'm a dad. You're you like kids.
Yeah, there you go.
mustache,
Yep.
But you don't have any.
Good.
Married. Derek, the producer, he hops on the mic. So, Correct Opinions is the name. I think we should get into some Correct Opinions.
I'm not here.
Katie, I did not say that. Oh, that's part of it too. She's my wife, and it's like we like banter. But they know
That
off
was on
screen,
purpose.
off screen, we're super in love, aren't we? It's almost gross.
Yeah, it's almost gross. That's what we say. People
what-
love asking me. They're like, well, so what's Trey like off camera? I'm like, it's gross. It's gross how much he loves
They're always
his
like,
wife.
can we please start recording so they can stop kissing?
Yeah, that's on tour. We just, it's pretty hard to be with us, huh?
Yep.
So I thought we should get right into some correct opinions for
Great.
the namesake. Jake, do you have a correct opinion?
Yeah, let's get right into it. I don't think going to war is like great. I don't think we should get, thank you, in the habit of creating international war with other countries. But I love Saving Private Ryan. That's a great movie. I think they made
War?
a lot of good ones.
Anti-war,
Anti-war,
but the cinema
but if
and the content.
I think if we gave Spielberg one more good war, think about the documentaries, think about the movies. I need another one. I need Saving Private 9/11.
I feel like, we maybe had enough wars that maybe
Oh my gosh.
you good?
It was just funny.
That he could just create something without having to actually
No.
have a physical
We just
war.
watched Masters of the Air on
Yes,
Apple TV. One of the best
yes.
shows I've seen in a long time. About they've done World War II. They do it on the ground. The guys on the ground, and that was there were so many facets. Now they're like, let's go to the air.
That's fun.
What they do in the air. Cold War. Do we have any movies of that?
No, 'cause nothing happened.
Lame.
I
and we
need
don't.
action.
We're anti-war.
I need.
I don't know. Have you watched
We
the show
are.
The Americans?
No.
That's
Because
kind of
was
about
it
the Cold
was it
War,
about?
I think.
It's
Well, then
kind
that's
of
why
about the Cold War.
What
That
a
sounds
sales
interesting.
pitch.
It's actually a really good show.
Boo. What's your favorite book ever? You've read it multiple times.
I don't know. Do you know?
Yes. What is it? You've read it several times.
Oh, The Nightingale?
What's that about? Listen, wait
I
for
thought you were going to
this.
say the Bible, which
What's
is mainly
that about?
based in the Middle East.
Which
almost
a lot
said
of
so
that.
many
conflict.
wars,
Out of
controversy.
panic. I did almost say that. But yeah, I know. But like,
What's it about?
It's about World War II.
Thank you.
Bang.
But the Bible, most sold book of all time.
Middle East, a lot of conflict. I just need more just World War II type movies. The Boy in the Striped Hijab, Saddam Harbor. Give me something.
me
I need
more.
it updated.
Pearl Harbor, what a tragedy. But they gave us a ton of movies about that.
Quite the romance out of it, too. You think he's dead, marry his best friend. Oh, Ben Affleck's back. That's fun.
Wow, we should go back and watch that. I haven't seen that in a long time.
I watched War Dogs just last night. Maybe this is why on my mind. You watched it last night?
What?
Oh. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we were hanging out without you guys.
Well, just for you, Derek watches it every night.
Dropping on the floor.
Yeah. Every night before bed.
I think I was
It's like
watching-
the meme. It's like, you mind if I put on some white noise, babe? It just helps me sleep. That would be how he sleeps. War Dogs again.
I think I like it because it's a war nearby us, 15 years ago or 20 years ago or whatever. So just need a new one.
And that's why you
Gone
like
with the
it.
Wind.
I'm saying, yeah, I like war movies.
Gone with the Wind,
and
yep.
I've seen all the World War II ones. And so that's why
Have you guys seen Gone with the Wind? Have you
No.
watched the movie?
Frankly, I don't give a damn.
I thought it was just
that's
about
the one?
wind.
I kind of assume. I mean, I've seen it. I feel like it's very southern,
We're not allowed to like
What do you mean? I'm
What do you
from
mean
the South.
Southern?
I'm from the South. You know what? I'm getting sick of this too. Correct opinion. I'm from Oklahoma, which is the South.
It's not like as south as me.
We were actually debating Oklahoma, the only state in America where 100% of the counties vote the same.
Wow.
Guess which one? Republican or Democrat? Guess.
Oh, Republican.
Yep. And it's the only one that's done that since 2000. Every election since 2000. You can count on
Every election since 2000?
That's crazy.
every county
single county.
red.
There's not.
They're always like, hey, your count does matter. It really doesn't there.
Yeah, your vote
Yeah.
doesn't matter at all.
I would just drive by and just kind of like shoot a gun in the air
Yeah,
and be like, that's
I'm sure.
that was all I needed.
That was my vote.
That was my vote. It was so yeah, people are like, "Oh, you're not from the South, brother."
It is. The
That's about as
culture. I
south
don't
as it
know.
gets.
It's just kind of like it's too connected with Texas, which Texas.
No,
is
it's not. Oklahoma and Texas hate each other.
But they're like the same.
No.
Now,
That's very offensive. You've known me, an Oklahoma boy. You met the Texas, right? We're very different.
Isn't there a city or a lake that's on the border called Texoma?
Isn't there also a Texarkana?
Yeah.
So it's just like, and that connects to.
It's like Brangelina. But except they're never getting split up.
Yeah, that's kind of how geography is.
My correct opinion, speaking of wars and all that, I'm officially done going to war over, let's say, our coffee order. Every man has experienced going and ordering food or drink from a place, and you're like, what do you want? And it's this battle. She's like, I don't know, what are you getting? She's like, and she'll always get something different from me. She's like, let me try yours. And she's like, I kind of like yours more. And then I'm left
With her second choice.
Yeah. And I try to be nice. And my correct opinion is that that's wrong. And us men need to stand up for ourselves. Maybe it's just coming out of me because we celebrated the mother so much over the weekend. I'm kind of
Reversing.
reverse. And I'm just going to go in a place and say, you get whatever you want. I'm going to get what I want. And that's all I can do for you.
You
Katie,
know
what
what's
do you have to
funny
say?
is that you know me well enough that I don't say, can we switch? We just both take a sip and you just kind of look at me and you're like,
That's true.
You like
she
mine
does like the
better.
puppy. She like takes a sip and she kind of looks up at me
ask.
like,
I don't ask.
fine.
You just do it out of the kindness of your heart.
Yeah. And now I'm
Yeah.
announcing to the world I'm done.
Oh.
What are
okay.
some of the two options you're typically deciding between? Is it like a really bitter coffee and a really sweet coffee, or is it minor differences?
Or maybe like I'm kind of just like either. Well, pregnancy has changed me a little bit, but typically I would say I'm a black coffee or a plain almond milk latte. Like I don't really want a lot of flavors or fun stuff. But he'll kind of sometimes, he always does black, but sometimes he'll be like, let me try this flavor or whatever. And then I'm like, oh, this
Like, I
is
shoulda
pretty good,
gotten,
huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
If
So.
me and Rachel did that and it was like, hey, do you want this coffee or this coffee? I would just be deciding, how soon do I want to go to the bathroom? If it's soon, then I'll get the black coffee. If it's not, then I'll get the Americano.
Which, okay, you were going on a journey to drink black coffee. Have you reached pure
your
black
journey?
coffee?
Is it your taste buds or your butt that's causing the...
Yeah, so here's the problem. My plan was every Sunday at church, I'm going to get the black coffee and I'm going to sip it while I'm in
Ooh,
church.
but that's like bad coffee.
Just being told, like, just being convicted of your sins while you're just getting it down. That's a heck of a Sunday, man.
But what I learned was if I have coffee on an empty stomach, I don't get to enjoy church the normal way I would like to. And they don't have speakers in the bathroom. So I can't do it. So the journey is not
live
going
streaming in the
It's
stall.
not going well. Not going well.
No, I don't know. It's one of those things. I admire people who can do it, but I don't know if I'll ever get there. I don't know if
being called to the altar, man. That's
Yeah. How was church? I was on my knees the whole time.
Ooh, I tell you what, I was praying. I was praying hard. It was a great service.
Yeah.
How are we doing? How do church bathrooms? Do they give you the really cheap corporate paper stuff, or they take care of you a little better?
I feel like it's somewhere in between. It's not like Scott toilet. Correct
makes
opinion.
sense.
How is Scott toilet paper getting away with what they're selling as toilet paper? That stuff's a paper towel covered in sandpaper. It's unbelievable. When's the last time you had Scott?
It can be too much. It can be
know.
too plush. It can be.
I don't
You feel like you're wiping with a rag.
It's plush.
No,
You're saying
Scott is.
It's like sandpaper.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to look at something in this room. It would.
The thing behind you.
Yeah.
Like this, dude. That's what you're wiping with. It hurts.
I couldn't tell you the last time I used that. I don't know.
Do you ever have tantrums in public bathrooms where you're kind of like there's a time where it's like nothing worked. The sink, there's no soap and there's no paper towels.
Oh, the sensor.
And I'll be tempted to like flick my wet hand on the mirror. Be like, yeah, you got to clean that now.
I've never had that.
And
Cross
I've
my
said,
mind.
you know what? That's a little too much. They're trying their best. It's probably up the chain is the problem. I'm not gonna make the janitor pay for it.
That's
But
good.
I do. I start to look around like, how do I get them back? And I've never figured it. So
my
if anyone has any
gosh.
ideas, you're in there. You've already had to take a public 2, which is tough. That's people call it a number 3. And you got the paper mache. It's just endless.
It never stops.
And then it's exploded under you randomly. You get out. And you're like, okay, let me just get cleaned up. You can't.
Any new listeners out there, we don't typically talk about poop this much, and I'm sorry.
Well, I still have one more thing in the hopper to go when we're done with this. So
Okay.
we're not done anytime soon.
So, may we proceed?
Okay.
Like she didn't blow up the Southwest airplane earlier.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Here's something, maybe last thing on public bathroom. In my 20s, I was, I would say I was socially pressured to like always wash my hands, even after peeing. Like, yeah, we're in a public bathroom, they're looking at me.
Oh, no, I feel like I'm not going to like this.
And I'm going to say recently, I've stopped caring what other people think.
Yeah.
I'll be in a public bathroom and I will, for those who don't know how urinating works as a man, you drop your pants a few inches, you pee, and you get done. Like nothing happened.
I'm a
I didn't
clean
get
boy.
any dirtier
I'm a clean boy.
than I was before.
I got it in the objective. The day they said planes or masks are no longer required on planes, I haven't washed my hands since that day.
I think that's about when it started for me too. I was wondering, I was like, 20s versus 30s, but no, what it actually was the mask mandate. That's when it switched. I was like, I'm tired of pretending like I'm so clean when I'm in public, when I never do this in private. I'm just done washing my hands in general.
Correct opinion.
You
Don't wash your
guys
hands. It builds
don't
immunity.
wash your
Builds
hands.
immunity.
After number 2, I will wash my hands.
I'll say that. I'll say that.
I feel
I'm
like
changing a diaper. I'm washing my hands.
Thank you for the clarification, because we were just talking about that, and then you're just like, I don't wash my hands.
No.
And that is really gross.
Number 1, it's like basically nothing transpired. I mean, it's dirtier to touch your phone than your... I can't think of a fun word for it.
Yeah.
Than your
Then your iPhone 4.
charging port. Anyway.
All right.
All
Correct
right.
opinions. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. I need to get something off of my breast.
Your what?
My chest. Sorry. She's pregnant. Chest. I'm stressed. We all have different stressors, big and small.
Get it off your stress.
When we keep them bottled up, it can start to affect us negatively. Isn't that right?
It sure can.
Katie's a big bottler.
Uh-huh.
She does.
Yeah. I like to bottle things up and just explode.
You like to? Wow.
So I need better help.
Well, that's not good, right? Yeah, we need therapy as a safe space to get things off your chest and to figure out how to work through whatever's weighing you down. And BetterHelp could be a great option if you're thinking of starting therapy. Try it out. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire. You get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. I know I bottle things up even worse than Katie, and I've done therapy before. It really helped me out. So BetterHelp is a great tool. So check it out. We've got an offer for you guys.
If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. Get it off your chest with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/correct today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/correct.
Cheers!
Cheers.
Wait, you're pregnant. You can't drink this, right?
I can. It's water.
Okay. Liquid death. Yeah.
Sounds like I was talking to Thomas.
Yeah.
I've
That happens. What'd you do recently? Oh, you're like finished eating at a restaurant? She's
And
like,
I said, all done.
woo! And she all done with that drink too, which was pure water because she's pregnant. And liquid death is our choice every time. Liquid death.
Why would it be called death, though? It's a healthy beverage.
Because liquid death will brutally murder your thirst, and their infinitely recyclable cans are helping to bring death to single-use plastic bottles. Liquid death also donates a portion of profits from every can sold to help kill plastic pollution.
Triple entendre. Not bad. Wow.
Oh yeah, good job.
No, that's great. That's great. Hey, if you've never tried Liquid Death, give it a try. It's very fun to drink out of a can. You're not getting any microplastics, nothing dangerous. It's recyclable.
It's delicious. We love it. You can get free shipping to Liquid Death's Mountain Water flavored sparkling and iced tea 8-packs with Amazon Prime, or grab a can or a case at your local 7-Eleven, Target, Walmart, Whole Foods, or on Instacart. Go to liquid.com/Trey.
Liquiddeath.com.
Liquiddeath.com/Trey. Thank you. That's why you see here, folks. To check out all their healthy, infinitely recyclable beverages and find your closest retailer. That's liquiddeath.com/Trey. Liquiddeath.com/Trey. Picture this.
Okay.
Eyes open or closed?
Get open.
Got it. Yeah, there's a lot of people driving right now. So.
Open, but don't look. your summer getaway, maybe Italy,
Oh.
Branson.
pasta,
Branson.
or Branson,
Yes.
Italy of the Midwest, shows, art, hotels. But I'll tell you what, when I travel, the hotels always they get me a little nervous because you get in there and you're like, am I gonna be comfy or not? Well, let me tell you something kind of groundbreaking here. Cozy Earth, proud sponsor of the show. We've slept on their sheets, unbelievably cozy. They have travel friendly stuff.
Well,
Are you kidding me?
That's awful nice.
Luxurious bedding, also loungewear, which you're
I'm wearing it right now.
That's
It's
soft.
cozy.
It's ensuring the comfort of home wherever you roam. You can use our code CORRECT for 35% off at CozyEarth.com, and you can experience the unmatched softness and buttery smoothness of Cozy Earth bedding, surpassing even the finest hotel sheets for a restful night's sleep on your travels.
So
Keep going.
what makes them travel friendly?
Great question,
Great
Katie.
question. Cozy Earth bedding comes in these adorable totes, making it travel friendly and hassle free.
Oh, I love that.
Shoo-wee.
Nice.
They're betting the viscose rainbow. It cools you off. It's great. I'd take it anywhere. Take it to any hotel.
So want to rest easy on vacay? Take a trip to CozyEarth.com/correct. Then type in my personal code CORRECT at checkout. You'll get an exclusive 35% off. That's promo code CORRECT for 35% off. It's my way of saying thanks for listening. That's right, folks. Oh, and one more favor, click podcast on the survey after ordering and then hit our show so you can help us support it so they know we sent you, okay? Thanks and happy sleeping. CozyEarth.com/correct. We love to end every episode with hearing from our recties, the fans of Correct Opinions. Shout out to the recties. You can hit us up anytime at our email, correct@TreyKennedy.com, to ask us anything, send us your videos. We had a couple here. I'm very nervous about this one. Someone sent in an email saying, roasting Trey for messing up my Mother's Day cameo. It was the first one I sent you, Derek. And I'm nervous because I feel like I really took my time. Cameos, I used to love ripping up the cameos, and I turned it off for a while. I'm like, you know what? But for Mother's Day, I think it's my new strategy with Cameo. I'm just going to turn it on and off when it's like a fun time, and I feel like I'm locked in. I have time to do it.
Fun.
So I did some Mother's Day cameos, which was a blast, and it was... Mother's Day's a tough, what do you get your mom? And so I thought I was honored to be some of their gifts to their mom. So
And you apparently messed
I don't
up.
know. Let's see. What does she have to say?
Okay.
Hi, Trey, Jake, Katie, and Derek. This is Michaela. My husband just gave me a cameo from Trey for Mother's Day. And in the video, Trey says, Happy Mother's Day, and then a little bit later says, Happy Birthday.
No!
I knew I had to send this video and roast Trey for saying Happy Birthday when
Wow.
Well, when's your birthday?
Love the podcast. Love everything you guys do. Also,
the cameos.
as soon as I saw the cameo text that my husband sent me,
Can you
I
pause it really
immediately-
quick? Is she in Jurassic Park?
What was that sound?
Yeah, Trey, silly you. It wasn't my birthday. It's my raptor's birthday. Okay, keep going.
He was like, "Oh my gosh, who is it? Who is it? Who is it?" And he says, "It's not Cardi B. It's not Cardi B." So you were second to Cardi B.
Cardi
You
B.
did try and get her, but
He didn't have $3 grand.
Just wanted to say thank you. It really did make.
He went
my
to every
Mother's
strip
Day.
club in Atlanta. Thank you, Michaela. Well, I'm going to have to give a refund, aren't
You
I?
are, yeah.
Yeah, that's just
Yeah.
careless. That's ridiculous. You know what?
Or
I really
do you
hope I didn't
charge
do that
her
in the others.
twice because you already sent a birthday and
Yeah, I mean, when's her birthday? Is it close? If it's
I'm
within a
just
month,
kidding. You need to give her
kind of a
refund.
bonus. I gotta admit, I can't imagine. Is there anyone else whose favorite two people in the world are Cardi B and me? Is she the only one?
That is impressive. She's like, oh, he got me a cameo. It's got to be my favorite online cross-dressing influencer or Cardi B,
Or-
the famous stripper turned female rapper.
Either or. Well,
What
happy
a-
birthday, Michaela. Thanks for writing in.
Yeah.
And happy birthday. I'm sure it's on the way.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, you try Cardi B. Try to track her down. She's not gonna. She won't even like congratulate you on one holiday, let alone two.
That's true. She didn't even accept the cameo, clearly. So at least she did something to her.
All right, we got another one here. Wrap it up. Who do we got?
Man in uniform.
Let's go.
Hey, Trey, Jake, family man, Katie.
Yo.
I'm listening to your story about the lobster roll lady, and I just want to let you know I can send you some of my extra uniforms. I thought I wanted to be funny in class, and now I'm in the military. So, and you thought you were funny in class, and you're famous. So, it goes either way. But funny story, I don't get any free stuff, but if you get these uniforms, and you get props to you.
Does he want us to?
Isn't that illegal?
Yeah.
Isn't that like really
is he-
illegal?
Is he gonna hook us up with some stolen valor?
Yeah.
If you don't remember, well, a few weeks ago we told a story. I was out and about. This lady, it was all of us on the road, so we have different IDs, and she was like, "You guys in the military?" I'm like, no, we're traveling comedians, and it's the opposite. And she gave us free drinks because I guess we were performing at the casino that night. And so he's like, guys, I can help you get more free stuff.
Just wear fake military stuff. Not
I mean,
that hard.
We did say it. Maybe the wars created good content. If we get in character with it, is it stolen valor? If you have a guy who vouches for you, if like, whoa, stolen valor, you're under arrest. Like, we'll call.
No, I can call this guy. Well, I don't have his number. He just DM'd my podcast Instagram, but I get a hold of him in the
I
next
promise, he's
3 or
like a
4 days.
full blown recti. No, it's fine.
Yeah, does that help?
I want to go back to you calling yourself a traveling comedian. It definitely sounds
Circus.
like a circus. I would
want
stick
the
to the touring.
I want any of the
word,
new
yeah.
listeners to know. There's animals involved.
That's how
I'm
you
the
need
jester.
To, you need to describe it from here on out when people ask you what you do. I'm a traveling comedian.
I'm a traveling.
Not a touring
The brotherhood of the
comedian.
traveling comedians.
I'm a traveling comedian. It's a VW van, but it's bigger than it looks. Yeah, Thomas doesn't mind it.
Yeah, I guess we set up a PO box, get some military garb.
Yeah, set that up.
Yeah, why not?
Thank you for the offer, sir.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate it.
All right, sorry, Michaela. Thanks for writing in. Thank you for your service.
Yeah.
And thank you to all the people who tune in to the interview. We had so much fun. Like, subscribe. Jake and I were there's about, I counted, there's like 14 tour dates left on the comedy tour.
Our traveling.
Jake opens every traveling show. And so there's tickets for that left.
That's right.
Rounding out the summer
That's right.
before the girl who's also on this podcast has another kid with me. Number
That girl that's in the
two.
corner over there.
Number two, you're about to be showing enough where you're about to get like perks.
You don't
You know,
think
Like Percocet.
I do. I'm saying any woman with sense knows you're pregnant. But the general population, I mean, no guy.
What? Right. I wouldn't. Yeah.
These stupid guys would be like, man, I don't know. It's kind of a weird build. But here in a few weeks, it'll be so obvious. And like holding a baby and pregnant is going to be crazy.
I will say I did get a perk already this morning. A man let me cut him in line getting breakfast tacos.
Yeah. It's going to be, I mean, legit. It's probably military garb. And then right under it, pregnant woman holding baby.
Do I need to start
to get respect?
Giving away these perks? I've never thought to like let someone cut me in line if they're with child.
I was shocked. Yikes. I was like, it's fine. And he was like, no.
No, you're starving.
No, it's definitely before we have kids, you're a total idiot. And you're just, I never even saw a kid before I had them.
Yeah.
I didn't think they were around. And then you have one, you're like, oh,
look, it's hard for them.
It is really fun to travel with a baby or go anywhere in public with a baby because you can immediately lock in with like a proud dad. And they're like, oh.
Like, hey, I'm a dad too.
Yeah.
I get it. Oh. Yeah. Even if I see a woman 8 or 9 months pregnant, I still like to assume the best. Hey, I don't know if they're pregnant. I need to see a sonogram before I really know that they're pregnant.
There was a woman yesterday that was 38 weeks pregnant, and she hinted at it, but not strongly enough. And then I finally just went for it. I was like,
she went for
she's
it.
Got to be pregnant. I was like, when are you due? She was like, in 2 weeks. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks, and you were nervous about it?
Dude, it was obvious, but you're still like,
it was one of,
is it just a crazy?
You just don't ever, I don't know this person at all. So like, I don't know. It was tough.
I love asking people, how far along are you in the book you're reading? And hopefully they interject in the middle of that sentence and say, 30 weeks.
Oh, wow.
They say, oh, I was talking about it at the book. Oh, yeah, you're pregnant too.
Wow.
Cool.
How far? Yeah. More people should ask, how's the progress with how far along? Just in any part of life.
Mm-hmm. How's the journey? Getting big?
Getting crossed off the to-do list. New weeks off the to-do list.
Anyways.
You washing your hands?
Like, subscribe. Correct Opinions every Wednesday. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. And yeah, next week's episode, I bet it's going to be awesome.
I'd stick around.
I'd stick around.
I'd subscribe.
Thanks again, guys. Have a great week. Peace. Correct Opinions. Correct Opinions. Katie, would you ever call me master?
Nope.
Well, you're going to have to because I got on master class and I took a whole session. I went through all the classes for Texas Hold'em. Daniel Negreanu taught me. And you're doing chess. Look at us.
Doing chess, little entrepreneurship. They have a ton of options.
For just $10 a month, an annual membership with Masterclass gets you unlimited access to every instructor. And you can even access it on your phone, computer, smart TV, audio mode.
That's low-key kind of a crazy deal.
Nice.
$10 a month for every class.
They really make a difference. 88% of members feel that Masterclass has made a positive impact on their lives. So it's shooting pretty high percentage, not as high percentage of the free throws that Steph Curry does, and he has a
Which is a masterclass.
Nice. Go to chess.
$10 a month. You know, not much, but maybe that's still too much for you. No problem. How's 15% of that sound? Which is?
Yep. Masterclass.com/Trey.
That's right. $8.50.
Our listeners get an additional 15% off any annual membership at masterclass.com/Trey. So masterclass.com/Trey. Support the show. Go now. It's a great gift, great idea. Hook someone up or treat yourself. Masterclass.com/Trey. Whoa! What was that? Was that Thomas?
Probably.
Nope.
No.
That was the sound of a new sale.
That's right. Thomas doesn't make me money. Yeah. Well, he might actually. He really drives up engagement. That's a slippery slope.
Yikes.
That's why. Shopify. That's what that sound was. We use Shopify to sell merch to you guys. Jake uses Shopify for some of his businesses.
Love Shopify.
It's really, really easy to use and really, really helpful. 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S. is powered by it. They help turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout. 36% better on average compared to the other leading commerce platforms. Because businesses that grow with Shopify.
That's right. They have so many different tools, so many different, just analytics, data, if that's your thing. But if you have any kind of business, if you're selling anything online, sign up for $1 per month. It's a trial period at shopify.com/correctopinions. That's all lowercase. Shopify.com/correctopinions now to grow your business no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/correctopinions.
Ka-ching.